Hey guys, it's me, ToastyTV, and welcome back to another episode, or video, of this new series I'm doing with FIFA 16. Basically, what we do in this series is we predict, players of a team overall in FIFA 16. Now, I'm not doing all of the players, every single players in the team, you know, the starting 11 for sure, and some of the bench players. Now, in this episode, we had FC Barcelona. I already did one video, on Monday, 2 days ago, of Real Madrid. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave in description below. Now, let's get right into it. Alright, let's get into our first player. We have Neymar Jr., or just Neymar. He was an 87 in FIFA 15, you know, very good player. You know, I loved him in Ultimate Team, very quick and nimble player. Yes, he got pushed off of the ball a lot. But, you know, you can get by players super easily with this guy, and he was a very good player. Now in FIFA 16, I think his overall will still stay the same, but some of his individual stats I increase. I kept, like, the top 4, you know, the same. But I did increase his passing by 2. I feel like being in Barcelona, you have to pass more as a player. You know, the first season, he didn't pass a lot, you know, only when he really had to. He was more freely to dribble. But in the second season, this season, definitely he passed a lot more, combining with Messi and Suarez. And I mean, when you're in that trio, you have to combine, which is very good. So I kept his overall the same, but I increased his passing by 2 and his physicality by 3. And about the physicality, I know some of you are gonna be like, what? Because I think he should have +3 physicality, because, you know, he hasn't dived a lot this season. You know, he stood up more. So, and I think 59, you know, it's a little bit too less for this guy, so I gave him 62, which I think is quite fair. So that's Neymar. Alright, now we have Luis Suarez. Now, honestly, I thought when this guy moved to Barcelona, he wouldn't do that good. When he started playing in October, I think it was, against Real Madrid, or just in October, really, you know, he didn't, like, function with the team, and I was like, yeah, this is what happens. But, you know, I was completely wrong. This guy has been an absolute beast for Barcelona. A very good signing, you know. Obviously, they can't buy players for the next 2 transfer windows. So this guy was a very good buy. You know, they dished out a lot of money, but I think they're going to get more in return, obviously. You know, he was a big part in the Champions League, big part in La Liga, big part in Copa. Because if you think about it, Real Madrid was in first place when Barcelona didn't have Suarez. And when they had Suarez, you know, Barcelona went up to first. You know, I'm not saying Suarez did all of that, but I'm saying he was a big part of it. Now, moving on to the overall and the player card, I increased him by 1 overall, 90. I think it's very fair to him, being up there with the likes of Ronaldo and Messi, maybe even 91, who knows. But I increased his pace by 1, dribbling by 1, shooting by 1, passing by 2, being in Barcelona, like I said with Neymar. You know, you have to pass more and create more, and he's combined with Messi and Neymar quite a bit. And his physicality by 2, he's not been pushed off the ball a lot, which is very good for him. So yeah, that's Luis Suarez, and a very good player, you know, very, very good player. Alright, now we're moving on to the big guy, Lionel Messi. Now, with this guy, I didn't increase any of his normal stats, just his physicality by 4, and his, I kept his overall the same. Now, lots of people are going to be like, oh, he should be +1, he scored a lot of goals. But think about it, you know, Champions League, let's talk Champions League. He did a lot for the club in the Champions League, but he didn't get top scorer. He was 3rd in the top scorer. It was Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi. Messi and Ronaldo got the same amount of goals, except Ronaldo played less games. Now, physicality, some people are gonna be like, what, physicality by 4? What are you talking about? I feel like 62 is not enough for him. You saw in the Bayern game, he just kept all of the players off of his shoulders. He was so good. Yeah, everybody, all of the, like, these big defenders, you know, you have Boateng and these, these big defenders on him, and he just dribbles by them. It's just amazing, you know, what he does with his feet. And this is coming from a Real Madrid fan, so you know it's true. But yeah, this guy kept Barcelona in it in the Champions League. Absolutely amazing part in the final, even though he didn't score any goals or assists. He did amazing in the final. what he did in the final, he drew the defenders out, and then, you know, put in a good through ball, and then it happened. He just drew the defenders out. Absolutely quality player, but I still think Ronaldo is better. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. Ronaldo is better as an overall player. He's got more strength, he's got more heading abilities, but Messi is definitely better if you want a one-on-one situation. Now, I kept all of his other stats the same, which is probably not going to happen, because EA like to change some stats, you know, up and down. So just ignore that, and physicality by 4, like I said, to hold up defenders. Now we're moving on to Andres Iniesta. Now, lots of people are going to hate me for this, you know, this is a very nice guy, but I decreased him by 1 overall, yes, even though he did have a great game in the final and kept Barcelona in the Champions League, a big part of it. I think he's not an 89 overall. I'm sorry, lots of people are gonna, you know, hate me for that, but I just don't think he's an 89. 88 suits him better, you know. His age is getting on, and I think I should decrease his overall by 1, and that's what I think EA are gonna do. I don't see him going up. I don't see him staying the same. Maybe staying the same, actually. But I see him going down by 1 to an 88. I think that's quite fair for the guy. Now, I decreased his pace by 1, his shooting by 1, his defending by 2, and physicality by 1. But I kept his dribbling and passing the same because he is a master at dribbling and passing. Yeah, I kept his dribbling and passing the same because in that final he really showed that he can really dribble. He was just dribbling around Juventus defenders. Absolutely brilliant player. But yeah, I downgraded him by 1. Lots of people are going to disagree with that, but I think that's pretty fair for him. Alright, now we're going to move on to Ivan Rakitic. Now, I gave this guy a big bump up by 2. Not just 1, but 2. Because I feel like he was one of the more quiet players. Like in Real Madrid, Toni Kroos, his guy is very similar. Very similar playing styles, very similar what they contribute to the club. Now, obviously, in that Champions League final, he was a big part, scoring the early goal in the 4th minute, being the 4th Croatian to score in the 4th Champions League final that they ever had. I don't know, he just had a crazy coincidence of like number 4s. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, type in like Ivan Rakitic Champions League 4. But moving on to the card itself, I upgraded him by 2, not 1 but 2. I upgraded his pace by 2, shooting by 1, passing by 1, dribbling by 2, his defense by 9, because 55 defense for this guy is an absolute joke in my opinion. This guy, if you watch the Barcelona games, tracked back, he got the ball plenty of times and started to counterattack. That's why I love this guy. This guy's a great player. And his physicality by 3, I have his second informed card in Ultimate Team, and let me tell you, this guy is a monster at free kicks. He can score from anywhere if you have a free kick with him. Absolutely amazing card. The second informed card, very good, and I'm sure like his other informs and the man of the match card are great as well, and along with his normal card. But I think he will be an 85 in FIFA 16, which is a big statement. But I think he lives up to that overall. Moving on to Barcelona's center defensive midfielder, Sergio Busquets. Now this guy is another quiet player like Ivan Rakitic. You know, doesn't do too much. You don't notice him as much on the field as some other players in Barcelona, but this guy definitely contributes a lot, you know, getting back and defending. So I give his pace bump up by 2. You know, he got rather quick, and his shooting by 1, his passing by 2. He's like 78 passing is an absolute joke for him. How can you give this guy 78 passing if he's one of the best passers in the team? Honestly, this guy is an amazing passer. Whatever. Dribbling by 1. But if I give him like plus like freaking 6 passing, it'll just look silly because I know EA won't do that. Anyways, defense I upgraded by 1. This guy's an amazing defender, and I messed up on his FIFA 16 card on his physicality. I'm terribly sorry. I think this happened with 2 other players as well. I put 801 physicality, which he's not built like a brick. He's not freaking a Fenkoa or Ronaldo. He's not Lukaku. Sorry, Busquets. He's quite a skinny guy. I just upgraded him by 1, so ignore that 0 in there and pretend it's an 81, please. And his physicality by 1, which I just talked about. So yeah, this guy upgraded by 1 overall. Now we have Barcelona's left back, Jordi Alba. Now I upgraded this guy by 1. His pace, I don't think you need to upgrade his pace by 1. I just kept his pace normal because he's rather quick this season. You know, I think 92 was right around the right like pace for him, if that makes sense. And I kept his shooting the same, but I increased his passing by 2. This guy's a great passer as well. his dribbling by 1, and yeah, I messed up on his card. 789 defense. Yeah, this guy is not a Paolo Maldini. I'm sorry, Jordi Alba. You know, maybe if you like practice, you can get that way. I'm sorry, but you know, go out on the field and practice. Now we're moving on to the first of the center backs, Javier Mascherano. I don't think this guy had a really good season compared to PK and other defenders, but I gave him +1 because he was there when the team needed him in defense. In those clutch games against Bayern Munich, you know, Juventus, he was there when the team needed him. I gave him plus pace to 70 because 69 really annoys me, you know, being on that edge, and I think he needs to be a little bit faster, you know. I gave his shooting the same, since he didn't take a lot of shots too much, you know. His passing by 2, because he used to be a center defensive mid back in Liverpool, and I think 70 passing is a little bit of a joke to me, but I gave him +2, just like Sergio Busquets. His shooting is the same, and his defense +1, which is very good for this guy, because this guy is an amazing defender. Like, I remember when they bought him from Liverpool, I was like, but he's like center mid, you know, and then they converted him to a center back, which I didn't think they were gonna do. He wasn't good at first, but then he started like adapting to the club, and this guy does a lot for the club, really. And +1 physicality. That's all I have to say about this guy. Moving on to the next center back. Moving on to the second center back, we have Gerard Piqué. Now with this guy, I improved his rating a lot. 84 I think was good at the start of FIFA 15 for this guy. You know, didn't have a good season last season, but this season I think he proved to be back up at those defensive beasts. You know, he dropped a little bit, and then I think he realized what he was doing wrong and corrected it. You know, he definitely turned down the haters, especially against Real Madrid or these big clubs. He did absolutely amazing this season. I hate to say it because, you know, Piqué's not my favorite Barcelona player, because that 5-0 with the hand thing, it really hurt me, but he did really good this season. I'm happy for him as a guy, but as a player, you know, I could help with him being a little bit more floppy like he was in the seasons before. But anyways, moving on to his card, I did everything +2 except his defensive status, which I think is already good, so I didn't change, and his physicality, which I messed up on. It's supposed to be 3's physicality, not 1. I'm a fucking retard, sorry. But yeah, I upgraded his pace by 2, shooting by 2. You know, he shoots a lot, you know. When he gets up in those corners, he stays up. He doesn't just go back, he stays up, which I love, like Sergio Ramos. And +2 passing, and +2 dribbling, +1 defense, and +3 physicality, which I think is well deserved for this Gerard Piqué. You know, I think he deserves to be on the level as Sergio Ramos. I think they're both great center backs. I still think Ramos is a little bit better. Hopefully he doesn't go to Manchester United, but these guys are both great. Moving on to the right back of Barcelona, we have Dani Alves. I gave this guy +1 because, again, same thing with Piqué. He didn't do too good in the seasons before this one, so I think 83 was well deserved for him. But this season he definitely proved all of his haters wrong, which I am one of them. But he proved me wrong, which good for you, Dani Alves. Bad for me again. +1 overall, +1 pace, +2 shooting, +0 passing. I think his passing is pretty good for a right back. +1 dribbling, +1 defensive skills or defense, and +1 physicality. Because let's talk about these stats. +1 pace. This guy was running around the whole Juventus game. And I know you can't just judge a player's like stats by one game, but the whole season he was running around the pitch, up and down that wing, like he always does, right? But I think he just deserves that one little pace. Shooting. This guy's shooting is a monster. I remember back in the 2011-12 season when Real Madrid had the gold kit, he scored an absolute blinder against Real Madrid, and I think his shooting is still top on point, so I gave him +2. Passing the same, like I said, dribbling +1. This guy dribbled, he takes on a ton of players, you know. I remember him begging Ronaldo. That was very emotional for me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, +1. +1 defense as well, 76, you know. I'd say 76 is alright for him. You know, I say I should have kept it at 76 just because he had a good season. I bumped him up by 1, and his physicality by 1 to 69. So that's Dani Alves. Now we have Barcelona's keeper, Claudio Bravo. This is the third player we upgraded by 2 overall in the starting lineup. This guy was a replacement for Victor Valdez, and I think it was an amazing replacement. This guy, I feel like, is the next Victor Valdez. I know you're saying Victor Valdez isn't good right now, but when he started off at Barcelona, you know, he was like this guy. He was very quiet, you know, he was just a good goalie, you know, very quiet. And then he turned into this world-class goalie, and then he went down. I'm not saying that Bravo's going to go down. I'm just going to say he's going to turn into a world-class goalie. Just watch. Okay. I gave him +1 diving, +2 handling, +0 kicking. I think his kicking is already fine. 85, that's quite high. +1 reflexes, +4 speed, and speed, I guess he's quick, you know. So I gave him +4, and his positioning 78 is not good enough. I put 81. He didn't concede a goal in the Liga until they faced Real Madrid in October. So for like 2 months and a half, he didn't concede a goal, which is absolutely amazing. It was a penalty for Ronaldo. What a surprise! No, I'm just kidding. Please don't hate me for that. I love Ronaldo. But yeah, this guy's very good overall. +2. Some people are gonna hate me for that, but I think he deserves it. That's it for the starting 11. Moving on to the bench players now. This is one of the bench players that I personally think had an amazing season. Jeremy Mateo. Everybody was, when they signed this guy, everybody was like, who's he? You know, he doesn't fit in Barcelona. I definitely think he proved wrong. Great sub center back. If you ever need, like, to take a midfielder off and put a center back on, this guy can do the job. He's basically a center defensive midfielder. I know that's crazy, but he basically is, you know. I could see him being a defensive midfielder. With that pace, you know, he can do it. So I kept his pace the same because he was still rather quick. He actually kept up with Gareth Bale in one of the Clásicos. It was absolutely crazy, you know. Shooting up by 4, you know, 68 shooting. He had that one shot versus Real Madrid. That was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I pumped his shooting up by a lot because I feel this guy could be a very good midfielder. His passing up by 2 as well. You know, in Barcelona, your passing has to go up because you're basically playing in Barcelona. You know, tiki-taka football, very passing, very flowing. His dribbling I kept the same. His defense I kept the same. You know, that's quite high for him as well. Maybe I say 81 defense is good for him, but I kept it the same. Physicality by 2 because this guy is actually huge. In real life, this guy is massive. You know, he's built like a brick. He is. He's quite scary. So yeah, that's Mateo. This is the last player that we are going to be reviewing in this episode. It is Pedro, and I feel bad for this guy. Neymar and Suarez completely took this guy's place in the lineup. I have a feeling he's going to leave this summer for someone like Arsenal or something like that. Maybe Chelsea, who knows. But I downgraded this guy by 2 overall. You know, he didn't play much because, you know, Neymar and Suarez kind of exist. Sorry. But this guy's definitely a good, you know, replacement for them if they wanted to take them off, like in the 60th minute. If any of them gets injured, this guy's good. But I downgraded him by 2 because he hasn't shown why he should stay in the team. Obviously, that one bicycle kick was very good from him, you know, but everybody pulls that kind of thing every time of their life, you know, every lifetime. So that was a good goal, you know, but I don't think he deserves to be upgraded freaking 18 overall just because he scored a bicycle kick. Tell that to the guys that play in the lower leagues and score like these double bicycle kicks. Make them the freaking Ballon d'Or winners. Anyways, -2 pace, -1 shooting, -1 passing, -2 dribbling. And I messed up on the right side, shooting in the middle. That's meant to be defense. I kept his defense the same. And -2 physicality. So that's it for this guy. I feel really sad for him, but I think he's going to move, and I think that's the best option for him, not to stay as a bench player. So, I'll see you guys in the next segment of this video. Now, with every team that I do in this series, there will be 2 players that are heavily linked with the club that I'm reviewing. Now, we have Koke and Paul Pogba. These 2 players are heavily linked with FC Barcelona, And I honestly think Paul Pogba will eventually go to Barcelona. He said plenty of times that he wants to play with the likes of Messi, not Ronaldo. So, fuck you, Pogba. I'm just kidding. Don't get mad at me. I'm just kidding. Messi is a great player. That's just my opinion. Pogba is entitled to his. Koke, I think, also would be a great signing for Barcelona. Koke, a replacement for Xavi, and Pogba, a replacement for Iniesta. I think it's just great. These two players are probably, you know, one of the best potentials, like, for Ballon d'Or winners, along with Neymar and Isco. And Coutinho, if you want to even add him in that category. But anyways, that's for the potential transfers. So this is how the team looks like in its formation with the new cards active. This team in FIFA 16 is going to be absolutely sick, especially with that front three. Very excited to beat this team with Real Madrid. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Barcelona fans, don't hate me. No, but I honestly feel Barcelona can win the league again if Real Madrid don't shape up. Honestly speaking, Barcelona are the favorites for the Champions League next season. Unless some other team comes in and absolutely wrecks them, I think they're going to win a treble again. You know, 2 years in a row, I think they can do it. Again, Real Madrid fans, don't hate me. I'm just saying my opinion. Real Madrid needs to shape it up. Again, it's not a Real Madrid video. What am I talking about? I always find a way to manage them in some video. I apologize. I'm just going to skip this segment. See you later to the next segment. I'm not actually going. Please don't click off. If you clicked off, I'm sorry. If you did, that's it, everybody, for this video. If you liked it, I put a lot of effort into this video. Please leave a like down below. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about these predictions. You know, freaking kill me in the comments if you want. If you think I'm a fucking retard, please put that down below. Feel free to dislike the video as well if you fucking hate it, but if you love it, please like it. Yeah. Friday, there will be another team, which I'm not gonna tell you who it will be. You guys will find out. It's gonna be a very good team. But yeah. Who's it gonna be? Who knows? Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.